Hey, welcome everybody to Wednesday night Role-Playing Unlimited Out of Character, coming to you live from our new Star Wars What If streaming screen here. Got a couple of our players here who will be joining for that campaign, in addition to the artwork for James, Jason, and John's characters, the Triple J. And here next to me on the right side, we got, otherwise known as Cody in the upcoming game, we got Justin. What's up, man?
Hey man, how's everybody doing tonight? I think we're going to have a fun time with our little scenario we've got planned out here for you today. And it's a good little warm-up to get everybody amped up for our upcoming Star Wars game. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Oh, you know it, bro. Yes, indeed. And on the same side of the screen as me here on the left side, we have Steve in game, played by Evil Dawn. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I think that the trope of using like very elaborate names within Star Wars has been overused. So Steve is just a great name for just a awesome character.
I can't hear that without immediately thinking Scuba Steve.
You know, I mean, it was going to probably be like Dave or like Matt or, you know, something, but just something about Steve just came out as that would be the name for this particular character.
Man, I would kill for Matt, given the choice between the two, but I digress. So before we delve full on into some of our what-if battles here that we have set up for tonight, a brief question for the both of you. In the entirety of our Star Wars what-if, or Ultimate Star Wars as it later became, experiences, what is one moment that rings out for you as either memorable for your character, memorable for you as a player, something that happened in the story that you retained? What's something that would qualify for that?
Well, one of my favorite memories, of course, happens to be we're standing on top of an AT-AT, and I go, quickly, get off, and I drop a thermal detonator and proceed to escape, not realizing that it goes off at the very end of the round and nobody else had a chance to actually do anything before it went off.
Yeah, that was a memorable one for Jason as well, in and out of game, but perhaps not in such a good way.
Didn't have to be a good one.
Well, you've misremembered that moment. It was some sort of Clone Wars war droid that me and you were on top of, and you decided to close the missile launcher with the Force and ran away right as it was trying to shoot at us. And I was still on top of it when it exploded.
Actually, I've done that more than once. So
How about for you, Justin?
I would say with that character, Islar, the memorable moment was when I first had confrontation with the character's brother, who is also a force-using martial artist, and I just run up on him, and I roll a natural 20, I crit him, and I just go, whap! And he just goes down like a sack of potatoes. And I was like, nice right.
Yeah, that was Thyriku, who I spent a good deal of time crafting a decent opposition for your martial artist character, so that was definitely a disappointing debut for him. And that was kind of the theme for Ultimate Star Wars What If in Episode 1. All my big bads came out and just got leveled right as soon as they stepped onto the playing field. It was getting to the point of ridiculousness.
He made up for it when I had to face him again later. He kicked my ass.
Very true, very true. I had to pull the typical villain move, however, and catch you at a disadvantage in order to gain that, but if they didn't do that, they wouldn't be the villains, huh?
The other very memorable thing, I'd say it's a character, was our arch nemesis, who always got away, Mr. Keegnutka.
Yeah, he was loosely based on Benny Hill.
Yeah, I can almost hear the song playing in the background. So I'm ready for it.
My favorite escape for him, I think, was his second escape, if you want to call it that. The first escape was not very much of an escape, but the second one, he's got his jetpack, and Gale and George were in a speeder. So they were chasing him down, and George was using the force to like try and grab the dude out of the air, and he actually grabbed me to the point where I couldn't move. So as Gale pulled the speeder underneath me, I just looked down. I was like, well, I got a grenade launcher right here. So I just shot a grenade right down into the open top speeder, and it was an ion grenade. So it shut the speeder down, and that enabled me the necessary boost to get away down the tunnel.
You know what? It does fall into that same category of. I do think one of the favorite things was when Gale came in as a quotes jeweler, and in the very first combat, natural 20, and kills the guy right off the bat, and everybody just looks at her and she's like, "I'm just a jeweler."
Yeah, I love that was always the reaction as she's like blowing the smoke off of the gun. The bad guy killer 3000. What? I'm just a jeweler. Oh, this is a tool that I use to craft my jewels. Pow 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 pow.
I mean, she was kind of a natural 20 machine.
Oh, for sure. Katarina Gunn, that's part of the reason why that character had such a long survival rate well into our sequel trilogy. And these are all stories that we can discuss at great length, and I do look forward to discussing more of them. But to kick off this show here tonight with the first of what will hopefully be 3 battles, we'll kind of pace ourselves and see where we're at, and if it's getting late, then we will call it there. Otherwise, in the first one here, I'm going to do a brief narration here between Leia Amidala and Padme Amidala. And in this what-if tale, we find ourselves in the Galactic Civil War era, in an altered reality wherein Darth Vader was successful in convincing his wife Padme to join him in his new empire. Now, Senator Amidala of the Imperial Senate has discovered some disturbing news. Her daughter Leia is a suspected spy for the burgeoning Rebel Alliance. Years ago, Padme chose family over her duty. But the situation is now much more complicated, with her husband the ruler of the Empire itself, and her daughter a suspected traitor. Leia has always been headstrong and willful, idealistic even, but Padme never thought it could come to this. For her part, Leia can sense that her time is short in the Imperial capital, but she loves her mother dearly and wishes for a chance to convince Padme to join the Alliance alongside her. She'll get just that chance one fateful evening when her mother arrives at her apartment alone to speak with her. Leia's nerves are on end as she knows she has been found out. It's now or never. How will this end? And let me move you guys over to this map page. Leia versus Padme in this small apartment. We have Padme on the south side, just coming in through the door, and across the way we have Leia here, and based on the look of the apartment, it would seem that Leia is very close to making good her escape from the Imperial capital. Most of her things are packed away in crates, but here we have it, Leia versus Padme. Dawn is taking the role of an older Imperial Senator Padme, and Justin is taking the role of a young Leia.
Oh, my daughter, why haven't you come to me with your concerns?
Maybe because you'll just run to Dad in his dark armor and tell him all about my plans.
But my dear, how do you know I already haven't told him?
Because he'd be the one standing here, not you.
Very true. And he probably wouldn't need this. And she pulls out her blaster.
Oh, damn.
The fact that you came here without him tells me that you might not be as lost as I thought, Mother. Perhaps you see that I truly am right.
You know, your father and I have been very concerned about you and don't understand why you keep fighting what is inevitable. The fact that the Empire is going to rule everything with your father eventually taking over the entire galaxy.
You once helped form a republic where everyone had an equal voice and freedom to do as they pleased. Now you are beside a tyrant who squeezes the systems of all their joy.
Yes, but they are now under law. They are now under containment. Look what happened to Naboo those many times when the Trade Federation would blockade us, or when invaders would come and try to take over the planet. Now that we are all under one rule, it just makes life easier. They don't have to worry about these blockades and such. All they have to do is submit to the Empire, and all will be forgiven.
Submit.
Join me or die.
Pretty good persuasion check. Let's see if Padme has one in return. I don't know if you caught my bit there in the chat log there, Don. I didn't want to interrupt the RP, but as Padme's voice underwent a very noticeable shift. Are you making your voice deeper? No, this is my voice.
This is my voice now. I am Padme.
I love the meme that I saw in the same context of, and now, Lord Vader, you will go out and execute Order 66, and then it's Rocket Raccoon. Are you making your voice deeper? No, this is my voice.
Yeah, I just didn't, since Justin wasn't playing around with the falsetto, I figured I would drop that too.
Well, I think I speak for the unanimous population of the world that we think your backup voice was much more appropriate.
Oh, well, thank you.
So Padme definitely edged Leia out on the persuasion check there. As we kind of discussed earlier, I don't know that either would be twisted or pulled away from their perspective, although, given what we have here, what is your next play?
She is threatening you with a weapon at this point.
You really so blinded by him that you would... She pointedly looks at the blaster in your hand. Attack your own daughter?
I will do what I must to save your father and the Empire and the power that it brings to our family.
You are more interested in power than what is right for the galaxy.
What is right for the galaxy is a strong hand. No more of these games in the Senate of, back and forth. With one ruler, with one rule, life has become so much easier.
What of the torture, disappearances, the weapons of fear and terror that the Empire has scattered across this galaxy in order to ensure its rule?
Tools, merely an ends to a means to a justified end.
Never justified torture, Mother.
we do what we must to keep our status quo.
I will do what I must. She draws her own pistol.
Oh
Pew,
boy.
pew.
Let's get an initiative roll here. I do not have macros for group initiatives here, so it'll be a little different than our 5E games. You guys will do a manual initiative roll there, and I don't think we'll even need to use the tracker. Although, since we got one in there, we might as well add Padme as well. What's that? A 19 initiative. And just a zoom-in look on the excellent tokens here created by Riley Owens, I believe it is, of Dark Wolf tokens and maps and what have you. A lot of great products on there. I use a lot of his stuff as well. But that is our Leia. I think pretty clean rendition there. And unfortunately, we did not have a Padme, so I think actually I'm using Director Krennic for Padme's figure.
That would explain the voice.
Thankfully, I mean, the hat's pulled low enough so you can't really tell male or female, so it works, I think. And we have more figures that are pretty accurate to the characters in the movie for our other what-if battles. But here, Leia has gotten the draw despite drawing her weapon second. So what's your play?
Alright, Leia is driven and passionate, but she's not quite ready to kill her mother. So she's going to attack with the stun setting to begin with. She will use her 2 swift actions to aim, using her Dead Eye feat to do extra damage if she hits. So this is going to be a stun attack.
Okay. Ooh.
That's going to be +1 from point blank, and I need to roll another die of damage for the Dead Eye.
Sounds like a plan. Alright, so subtract half of the stun damage from the target's hit points. And if the stun damage happens to reduce the current hit points to 0, the target moves -5 steps on the condition track, which is not the case. But if the stun damage before being halved equals or exceeds the target's damage threshold, you move 2 steps down the condition track. I don't think either of those would apply, so it looks like you're just going to take some minimal stun damage.
Right, 9 stun damage.
Yeah, the original total is 19. I'm not sure what your damage threshold is.
Yeah, my damage threshold is 21.
Close.
And just the single attack given the double swift action aim. So that'll move it over to Padme's turn in retaliation. What do you got?
Okay, so I'm going to Foolish Girl stun, and she's gonna open up with just a regular attack using her blaster.
Okay. Oh man, just shot a hole in one of the crates behind Leia.
That was a warning shot. Drop your weapon.
Do you have anything you want to do with your move or swift action there, Don?
You know what? As a move action, because of that miss, I'm going to take cover behind the desk.
Alright, +5 reflex defense bonus for any amount of cover. And that'll move it over to Leia's turn.
I will aim again, negating his cover bonus, and try stunning again. It was pretty close to getting her, so if I can roll just high enough, I can get her.
Alright. Oh, the cover came into play. Even with the point blank bonus, it's a 1 point bonus in Don's favor.
Well, he did use something to negate my cover bonus.
And when you aim, you negate cover.
Oh, does it? Well, alright. Looks like another direct hit with the stun. I think same effect as last time, though.
Yeah, just can't quite get enough damage to get to the threshold.
Yeah, stun is kind of a tricky mechanic, but when it comes through, it can definitely be very favorable. They led us astray in the first Star Wars, though. Like, they shoot Leia one time, it's like, oh, wow! So you have this impression that it's just going to work every time. Well, alright.
That's no trouble, it's a creditor or something.
He said set for stun! He wasn't going to hurt you! Why'd you shoot him? Alright, go ahead with Padme's retaliation. See if she's got it in her to take out one of these crates again.
All right, so I'm going to use my linguist talent and curse at her in Dungan, and I'm going to shoot her again.
Use a bad grub. Oh, on the money, but garbage damage.
Yeah, but it is a +1 because it's point blank.
And that's just a attack. Do you have any movement or anything else?
No, I'm going to stay behind the desk over here, seeing that she hasn't ducked for cover. Yeah.
All right, let's cycle it back over to Leia, who has just taken a good shot in the side there.
You shot my hair!
Having finally been shot, I will also move to cover behind the desk and just start shooting at each other over the desk. I will do a normal attack this time, since my mother is apparently out to kill me.
Yeah, Daddy's been a really bad influence on her.
Hey, if Daddy taught us anything, you can take Leia down to the point of near death, and we can just rebuild her as a Sith robot.
Well, there we go.
A Sith bot. Oh, glanced off the top of the desk right there.
Hey, you forgot to put thermal detonators as part of her equipment package over here. I mean, I'll forgive it this time, but...
Oh, I didn't forget. John went through all the character sheets, deleted those, and added them onto his character sheet for the actual campaign, so I've got to fix all that later.
Ah, okay. So I will take another shot from this side of the desk. Yeah, because I don't have Deadeye, it would take me 3 swift actions to aim. Would that be correct?
I think it's 2 to do it if you don't have it. It's 1 if you have Deadeye, right?
No, Deadeye just gives me an extra dice of damage when I do aim. Aim is
Oh,
2
there.
swift actions.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 swift actions to negate the cover and take a shot.
All right. Even without the cover, that would have missed.
And that will end my turn.
All right, we'll bring it back over to Leia, who just had a near miss.
Felt like Han Solo going, eh. But, yeah, I will also aim at this point, getting the benefits of Deadeye process, and try to keep my mom from killing me.
All right. Oh. That will land. And you said this is a regular shot?
Yeah, it's not a stun.
Ouch.
Okay, total of 18 damage.
I had it in point blank shot already.
Okay.
Mother, stop it!
Okay, I'm going to hold out my hand for a force choke, and then go, shit, it always works for Annie. And I will then take a shot with my blaster, doing an aim to try to negate the cover.
All right.
Man,
Oh,
my
man.
dice are just horrible. I'm also going to hit the floor and crawl over this way. And that will end my turn.
Gotcha. All right. It is another swift action to hit the floor, and then you do have some move there. So Leia's turn thereafter.
In that position, do I even have a shot on her, or do I have to move?
You do have a shot. It's just effectively she's got an extra 10 on her reflex defense. Because 5 from the cover, and then it's a -5 for you shooting at a prone target.
If I aim, it's just it's just 5 then.
Correct. It's -5 off of your side rather than +5 on hers.
Alright, I will kind of stand up a bit, take aim at her again, and seeing that she's a little messed up, I'm gonna switch back to stun and see if I can just knock her out at this point.
Ooh. Blast it, William! My gun's jammed!
Destiny points when you need them.
Yes, indeed. So you heard a familiar click of a weapon either jamming or running out of energy there, Don, so this might be your move.
Okay, I'm going to swift action stand up. I'm going to come on over here, moonwalk sideways to get to her. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to make an unarmed attack against her, doing some grappling, actually.
Oh, man. Well, let's see.
So first I have to hit her with an unarmed attack, correct?
Let me grab those rules here real quick. Unarmed. There we go. So, standard action, you make a grab attack, treat it as unarmed attack, except it does not deal damage, and you take a -5 on the attack roll. And a grapple is an improved version of the grab attack. You can only make a grapple attack if you have the pin feat, the trip feat, or both, which she does not have, so I think you would just be looking at a standard grab, which would prevent her from taking any movement and having a penalty on any further attacks.
Okay, I think I'm just going to punch her.
That would be a standard unarmed attack then. Well, that'll connect.
Slightly ripping her shirt in the process.
What the shit? I didn't know it was that kind of what if.
Well, it happens all the time in Star Trek, you know. Every combat, Kirk loses most of his shirt.
You managed to get your shirt off.
Oh my.
Oh. Alright, so Padme seems to have finally found her mojo in this combat. Let's bring it back to Leia.
Oh, since apparently my gun don't work no more, I'm gonna have to hit you back.
Oh man, they're both laying into each other.
Alright, she's going to punch wildly again.
Alright. Ooh, a crit. Ow. Yeah, it's like caught her right in the solar plexus. Ooh.
I'm glad it was with the unarmed and not the gun.
Oh,
Yeah, right? Yeah, that might have dropped her down the condition track. Thankfully, the damage does not appear sufficient for that, so Leia's got some fight left in her.
I see by your bleeding that I am winning.
Not quite. So Leia's like, takes that shot, and she's gonna like, headbutt her mom.
You don't want to get those cinnamon buns stuck in her face. You'd never be able to untangle that shit. Oh, man, that was a close one.
Alright, another punch from Padme.
Hold on, I'm gonna spend a force point.
Oh, breaking out the FPs. Each of these what-if characters has a limited pool of the Force to draw upon, and in this case it looks like that will make the difference.
I am strong in the Force after all.
Alright, how messed up do you?
I'm only about half down.
Holy crap.
Yeah, those missed attacks from Padme early on definitely started things off with Leia favoritism.
Yeah, she's going to take a step back and shoot it. I don't even think I can get it with a force point. Well, actually, I have 2d8. 16 would be 20. Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot.
No, you
It's-
get 8, but you only get one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, there was no way I was going to
Oh, man. Yeah, pistol shot right past Leia into the wall again. Leia looks at her mother back on her heels.
We know my dice are always shit. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of happening. My dice haven't been the best either. Hey, you did crit me though.
yeah, with a punch.
So after, Mom steps back to shoot at me, I'm just gonna, basically do the shoulder spears. Ah!
Another miss. Another critical miss.
Oh, no! Well, let's get a dexterity check there, Justin, and see if you don't just kind of face plant yourself into the wall and end up prone. Oh, shit! So yeah, Leia deals 4 damage to herself and is now looking up at her mother from the prone position.
I'm sorry. It is time for you to die. But hopefully we'll have better luck with your brother. Or maybe not. I just can't, roll any decent dice.
Yeah, Leia somehow rolls away from the attack that's emanating from less than a half meter away, and Padme burns another hole in the floor. Does this thing work?
It's because she subconsciously doesn't want to shoot her daughter.
Yes, indeed. George Lucas is watching this, and just like with a lot of the Star Wars What If, he's just like, nah, this die is going to do this, and this die is going to do this. Maybe in this case, Mickey Mouse is watching us, though.
And that's the end of my turn.
Well, then Leia's going to, stand up, and as she comes up, she's just going to knee you in the chest.
Or roll another natural 1 and tear your ACL in the process. Well, it ain't a natural 1, but it's a knee to the wall behind her.
All right, here comes another shot. She's gonna tap it. Is this thing on?
Oh, the ground, the crate, and the wall can attest that it is definitely on. And now the wall near, actually the hollow screen on the wall to the east, right over here, can also attest that your blaster's working.
This is just ridiculous. It's like 2 stormtroopers trying to fight each other.
I should have kept doing stun attacks. I was doing pretty good with those.
Yeah, you would have actually whittled her all the way down by now.
I miss you, my daughter. Well, of course you do. You're part stormtrooper.
Well, after, knocking your hand away so you missed me that time, I'm just kind of like, karate chop to face. I got
If there's part Stormtrooper in there, then that means Padme and Boba Fett at some point.
Padme got around.
Oh, man. Poor Leia just can't get anything going here anymore. Her martial arts training, limited as it may be, is just not having any effect. All right, Padme.
Well, that was closer. Point blank gives +1, 21.
And now we're just trading misses. It's like a baseball game that ends up 1-0 after 8 innings of nothing.
Although I guess we could say it looks a lot cooler, like, some action movie where the guy's like trying to shoot the person right up close and like, and they're trying to hit him and they're like, no, man. Instead of looking like a bunch of failures.
Yeah, very true. I mean, one person is unarmed and one person is not, so it is definitely an interesting dynamic.
So Leia's going to attempt to elbow her mother in the face.
Ooh. Oh, there it is.
Do I have a force shield or anything? Or...
And Padme goes down like a sack of potatoes at Leia's feet. So given that that is the way the combat ended, how is What If Leia in this circumstance going to proceed afterwards? The wings.
Well, she doesn't have the means to just, like, escape from here and now, does she?
She does have all of her stuff packed and her transport ready. So she is able to make her way there with supposedly minimal fuss. We don't know if Padme alerted anybody else before she came here, but it sounded like she came here by herself.
Well, I don't think she would kill her, but it might be too dangerous to try and take her with her at this point. So she would probably leave her, take the gun, but leave her there. And out at that point.
Not gonna stuff mommy into a crate. Bring her along for the ride.
If she felt like she could get away with that, she might. But it might be too dangerous, especially if Padme has said anything to anybody.
Yeah, the only way to find that out would really be to try.
Also depends on if she thinks she can turn her.
Well, it didn't go so well in this instance, but it might be like Islar versus Thyriku in that you just have to kind of beat some sense into the opposition before they finally see your point of view.
That was a pretty fun little fight.
Yeah, that was a lot more intense than I expected from the two characters. I thought this was going to be the easiest one and over inside of like 10 minutes.
Part of it, I think, was when I rolled one and ran out of bullets, basically, and we had to go to fucking unarmed.
Yeah. Very true.
Okay, you got me this one. You got me this one.
Should we delve into the second one, or should we hold off on that one?
I think my dice are against me today, so I wouldn't mind holding off on that one.
The guys are against you every day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm definitely cool following in that path and having the other two of these combats in addition to potentially some more of them next week. I like this concept, so I don't think it necessarily needs to be something that wraps up next week as a precursor to the USW campaign. I think we could maybe work one of these into our OOC going forward on different nights, like do our Q&A thing and then maybe do like one combat at the end of the night or something like that.
That'd be pretty cool. Or we could put up what the combat is going to be and having people take their best to see who would, put a poll. Who do you think would win in a fight? This person or this person, and then we can go ahead and actually run the combat.
Oh, absolutely. I guess it does help when you present it in that format, because I mean, the way that I posted everything there was designed to get conversations going down that vein, but I didn't actually say, hey, place your bets and who do you think's going to win. It was just, here's what's going to happen, here's who's facing each other, and potentially people would then kind of carry the ball from that.
I'm only betting if I know who's rolling which characters, because whatever Don's rolling is going to lose.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, man. Actually, no. Next week it'll probably be Jason rolling.
Well, see, little do you know that for the epic What If finale, the Darth Bane versus Darth Sidious, I thought we could make it a 9-hour extravaganza by having Dawn play Sidious and Wendy play Darth Bane.
Oh, good grief! Nobody would hit each other and be like, it's back and forth, back and forth.
I have Force Lightning! Psst. Okay, well, I'm over here, actually, though, so it's great that you have the lightning. Thanks for showing it over in that direction.
Oh, maybe I should take my sunglasses off before trying to attack you.
Alright, so yeah, we had some fun tonight getting the hang of the Saga Edition rules again. One thing that I will recommend going forward, not that we needed to drag this combat out any longer, but the second wind mechanic is something that any character can use once their HP total drops below 50%. And again, once Padme's total dropped that far pretty early on, I was very compelled to be like, hey, Dawn, don't forget about the second wind, but I also didn't want to influence the combat in any way, shape, or form, so just going forward, it'll definitely be something you'll want to take advantage of with your actual characters.
True. And I kind of figure, though, is that if I took the second wind, Leia will end up taking her second wind, and it would have extended the combat a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the way my dice were working out, I didn't think it was really going to change that much.
Yeah, I mean, it could have given the potential to turn things in the other direction, especially once Leia lost her blaster, but such is the way of the Force, and in this case, Leia has gotten the victory, and she departs Imperial Center, otherwise known as Coruscant, and begins her new life in the Rebel Alliance, while Darth Vader and Imperial Senator Amidala remain behind in the Empire.
Amidala likes it when he uses Force choke.
Oh man, and before Dawn takes us down too many roads that we're not comfortable or prepared for, let's go ahead and wrap this show up right now. Hey John, Jason, James, thanks for joining us virtually via your avatar form. I can see that Cestus is on the edge of his seat here, just waiting to see what else is going on. Actually, it looks like he's looking away from the entire stream, if you look at it. But yeah, Justin, Don, thanks for joining in tonight. Glad we managed to get this going, even despite the early technical difficulties. We still managed to get one of these knocked out.
Oh, definitely my pleasure. And, I love having these little games, and these little one-shots, I think will be something a little bit more interesting than just us just sitting around talking.
Oh yeah, we got a large bag of options that we can draw upon. It doesn't have to be the same thing every week. Some weeks we'll do battles, some weeks it'll be Q&A. Other weeks, I know once we get Steam and our board game situation more under control, we can start doing some of those virtual board games through this format, or even like we were discussing before, our next in-person board game, which I probably won't even play. I would probably just want to film and do a live stream of it going on at the time, because those can tend to be pretty entertaining.
And we also have the opportunity to do some interviews. I've been talking to some people from various Star Trek groups around town. I've been talking to a friend of mine who is in Evil Dead the musical. So we also have the opportunity to interview a bunch of these people.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that concept as well. We can definitely try to give some exposure and some push for some other people as well, just in the interest of helping out other people and broadening our own horizons.
So, as always, a lot of fun, and I can't wait until next time.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun little combat. Trying to envision how it would have looked in a movie. It was pretty entertaining, so I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, and I'm glad we had a few conversations about it yesterday, and through those talks derived the idea of, let's just add some roleplay to this as well, and not just have it be a Masters of Terras Kasai round one fight, which predominantly this is. But it was cool just to have that intro bit of roleplay, and when we get to Han Solo versus Boba Fett, I don't imagine we're going to have a 15-minute roleplay leading into it, but we could still have some pretty interesting dialogue throughout the course of the combat itself.
Yeah, I don't think I can do D. Bradley Baker in justice, so I'll just use my voice.
Very cool.
And maybe I'll use this voice for Han Solo.
No, that's his big voice.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I know Justin's going to have to play Chewbacca in the Chewbacca versus IG-88 battle, and then he can just perfectly do his Sherrywook, demonstrate his knowledge of the Sherrywook tongue throughout that combat.
Ah, yes, but which regional dialect have I been using?
Thank you so much, fellas. You guys have a great evening. Thanks to our viewers for jumping in on occasion tonight, and hope you watch the replay. We had a lot of fun here tonight, and lots more of these coming up in the near future. Have a good night. Are you with us?